Well, hey there, guys. Welcome back. On this week's show, we're going to make a pencil holder out of wood. Painted it and everything.
Okay, well, before we can bring the star of our show out for this project, guys, there's some preparation that needs to be done. Now, one of the best ways to get your young ones involved in woodworking, crafting, anything like that, is to prepare a kit. You don't want the project to be tedious. You want it to be easy. You want it to be something that's fun. It doesn't take too much time. You don't want it to become a chore. For that reason, on a lot of these projects, I do the majority of the sanding long before my granddaughter ever gets out here, long before Ellie ever stars on the show. The preparation is done. Sanding for a child is the most tedious thing, and it is the fastest way to turn a child away from woodworking. You want the project to be quick, easy, and fun. So what we're going to do is we're going to make this whole pencil holder a kit. It is strictly an assembly kit, and it's going to start off with scrap wood from the wood rack. Now guys, what we're going to do is over at the table saw, we are going to rip 1/2 inch stock into 1/2 inch wide strips. We need several of them. Pick whatever species you want. In this case, I have some maple, I have some poplar, I have some walnut, I have some cherry. And what I'm going to do is rip those 1/2 inch strips. And once I get that done, we're going to square off one end of the stock and then set our miter fence stop to be at 3.5 inches. And guys, from there, we are going to cut 16 pieces 3.5 inches long from each one of the species. So 4 pieces from each species, 4 walnut, 4 maple, 4 cherry, and 4 poplar. And there we have our 16 pieces. Now, what I'm going to do is on one piece, just on one, we're going to mark a center line here. So we're going to go 1/4 inch and place a mark. And just for accuracy, we're going to place it from the other side of the piece as well, just to make sure that we're getting the exact center. And then from the one end, we're going to place a mark 1/4 inch in from the end. And then right at that mark, centered, as I said, on our 1/2 inch side and 1/4 inch in from the end, we're going to center punch that. And once we're happy with that, we're going to head over to the drill press. Well, over here at the drill press, I have a 17/64 diameter drill bit set here in the drill press. Why 17/64? It is one size slightly larger than 1/4 inch. And what I've done is I've set my stop over here on this side so that when butted up against it, our bit lines up with that mark at 1/4 inch in from the end. And I've set my fence so that the point of the brad point strikes in the center. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to drill a through hole in the one end here of one of our pieces. And then without moving any of our settings, we'll just blow away the sawdust and we can rotate this piece here 180 degrees, put it back in against the fence and drill a hole in the other side. And we are going to do that for all 16 of our pieces. Well, the next piece that we're going to need for this project is the base. And guys, another piece of scrap, 7/16 inch thick. I could have used 1/2 inch, but this is what was in the scrap rack. So this is what we're going to use. It shows you how flexible this project is. Use whatever you want to use. You don't need to go specifically with the measurements I give you. So what we have here now is this is the exact same setup that we used to cut our 3.5 by 1/2 inch by 1/2 inch pieces and drill the 1/4 inch holes in them. or drill the 17/64 diameter holes. We have done nothing different other than change the bit to a 1/4 inch diameter. And what we can do, because this piece is exactly 3.5 by 3.5, the same size as our pieces, we can drill here using this setup, and in each corner drill a hole, and it will be the exact same distance apart here as what the holes are in our other pieces, because basically it's the exact same piece, just in a bigger scale. So we're going to drill the 1/4 inch diameter hole, but it's not going to be a through hole. We're going to stop it just before we get to the other side and just before it breaks through. So we'll drill the one and then rotate it 90 degrees, drill another hole, and do the same thing again. Rotate it 90 degrees and drill the hole, and then one last time. And when you're done, you should end up with something that looks like this. So at this point, we now need some 1/4 inch diameter dowel. With the base cut and drilled, the last pieces we're going to need is 4 pieces of 1/4 inch dowel. I have cut these to 4.5 inches long, and I have rounded off one end just with some hand sanding. So guys, this is all the pieces that we need for this pencil holder kit. So at this point in time, what I want to do is I want to take all of our pieces and soften up the sharp edges. Again, I've said it many times here on the show that young fingers, young sensitive hands will be handling this stuff. And some of the species, like especially maple with that sharp, crisp corner, that can cut, that can slice very easily, just as quickly and just as deeply as what a blade can. It's dangerous stuff for a child. So we're going to soften up all of these corners and sand them all up. And then I guess at that point in time, without further ado, we can bring on the star of our show. Now guys, just before we bring her out to demonstrate how to build this kit, I just want to step in and say a few things about the kit. Now, here's the thing. We need to introduce children to woodworking slowly. We need to give them a realistic idea of what it is to make a project. And they need to know that at this point, they're assembling things. If they're drilling holes and cutting, that's fine, but if they don't have that ability and they're assembling, they are still making a craft. They are still woodworking. No matter how you look at it, whether they did the initial preparation or not, they are still a woodworker at this point in time. And giving them the easier assembly crafts like this pencil holder, where it is basically a kit to be assembled, guys, what an introduction. That is a great introduction to give them a useful, viable, and good-looking project that they can be 100% proud of. Because while it may look like whatever to you, you may think, wow, what is that? To that child, they just painted the Mona Lisa, and that is priceless. So get them involved and get them doing a project like this. And if it's just assembly, then it's just assembly. They're happy enough to spend the time with you. And honest to goodness, they'll be appreciative because you shared with them your most valuable asset. And what that is your time. That is the most valuable asset that we can share with our children. So get them in the shop, make them a kit, and let them assemble it. Anyway, I'm going to get off my soapbox now and stop my preaching, and we're going to bring on the star of our show. Without further ado, here's Ellie.
So, the first step is to glue the dowels onto the base like this.
Shouldn't we have put glue in first?
And we have to put glue in, but this works.
Yeah, it does work. I agree. But we should put a little bit of glue in. So I'll put a little bit of glue in.
Only a little bit. Try to get the kids involved with this.
That's right.
Yeah, try to get the kids involved.
I agree.
Yeah.
100%. I've been promoting that on my show for a long time. Okay, go ahead. Hammer that in. Excellent job.
I did 6 hammers.
Is that the number you should be using?
Yes.
6 hammers?
Yeah, only 6 hammers to make it perfect. Maybe 7 or 8.
Okay, maybe
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 9.
try this one here and
6.
go ahead.
Okay.
Do it.
You don't need to hold it.
Oh, sorry. And then we'll turn it so I can get glue. You don't want me to hold it, so
I'll put the dowel in.
yep, and hammer it in.
First, you have to put the dowel in. Hammer it in.
Okay, I think you're good. And just before the glue sets up, guys, you just want to check these to make sure that they are square in the holes, because if they're out of square, it's going to hinder your assembly.
Now we have to put this aside and let the glue dry. Now we are going to start the thing off by putting some glue on these dowels, sliding them through, and sliding them through.
Sliding our block down over the dowels.
Yeah, like this.
Yeah, like that. And then you can take your
Yeah,
hammer
make sure you put some glue.
and give it a little tap to make sure it's down. That's perfect. Perfect. Good job.
Get
Okay.
glue on Pop's fingers.
And then, yeah, Pop put too much glue on there.
Yeah.
And then we're going to take the next one and put it directly across from it.
On the bottom.
Right.
Yes.
But directly
All the
across, like this.
Make sure all the browns are on the bottom.
Well, you can do whatever pattern you want. Okay, go ahead. Slide that
Mostly
down.
browns on the bottom.
You got to hammer it down? Okay. Perfect.
I'll hammer it down.
Now, you see this right here? What is that?
Pop put too much glue.
Pop put too much glue, but do you know what that's called?
What?
Squeeze out. So now you can let the audience know that you have to clean up your squeeze out.
You have to clean up your squeeze out.
Perfect. So we're just going to give this a little wipe in here like this.
Is that glue cleaner?
It's just water. Because you know what the funny thing is? Yeah. Wood glue is made from water. Isn't that crazy?
No. Now we're going to put a little dab of glue and get the next one done.
Are you going to use brown?
Yeah, for this side.
Right. But we're going to put it on the opposite side. So we're going to put a little bit of glue right here. Like that. And a little bit of glue right here. And then you can slide it down over top like that. Okay, you slide it all the way down. Yep. Oh, what happened?
A squeeze out.
Squeeze out. And what do we got to do with squeeze out?
Clean it.
Clean it up. So we just give it a little swipe with this Q-tip. Do you know another name for Q-tips?
What?
Cotton swab. Isn't that a funny name? Swab.
White cotton swab.
That's just what they're called. Cotton swab.
Most people
Okay,
call
and
it
then we
Q-tips.
turn this and tell your audience what we're doing here.
Now we have to do the other side of it.
So first,
we do a little dab of glue. Make sure there's no squeeze outs like Pop does.
yeah.
That's
And then you put it on there, yeah, and slide her down and give her a tap in
Squeeze
place.
out.
Give it a tap in place with your hammer.
squeeze out.
Yeah, I know.
Another squeeze out.
I tried to use a little bit that time too, but it said, hey, I'm squeezing out. Okay, so what's the color you're going to pick next?
This color.
That's maple. Okay,
Yeah.
so we're going to put
I'll have the maple on it.
the maple. So we're going to put a little bit of glue.
Yeah, I wish you had like a purple one. And after this, we have to paint it.
Do you know what purple wood is called?
What?
Purple heart.
Purple hearts.
Yep.
Sweet.
Sweet. Okay, line it up. And then hammer it down all the way to, use your hammer, all the way to the bottom. Wow. Okay, you're good.
Squeeze out.
Yeah, I know.
squeeze out.
And what do we do with squeeze out?
Clean with a cotton swab.
Cotton swab.
I call it cotton swab.
Okay, and then what do you do? Tell your audience what you do next.
We put these maple dowels all over around.
Those aren't dowels, but they're maple pieces. You're going to do it on the other side now?
Maple wood. Make sure it's maple.
Well, it doesn't have to be. And we're going to put this. Oops.
If you want to make it a maple, if you want to make the maple next.
Do you think maple wood tastes like pancakes?
No.
Why not? It's maple. Oh, wait. You missed.
Oh, yeah, maple wood tastes like pancakes.
You missed. What the heck? You missed. Okay.
Stop.
Hammer that baby down.
Not the wood isn't a baby. Can I do it this time?
What, the squeeze out?
Yeah.
Sure. Okay, and then I'll hold it so it doesn't move, and you give it a good wipe. You gotta push it a little harder. And if you hold it up closer to the cotton swab, you can control it better. So hold it up closer to the cotton. Yep. And then give it a good wipe. Wow, good job. Awesome. You know, we got a little bit in here. Look.
Squeeze out.
Yeah, good grief.
What?
That's a lot of squeeze out there. What happened?
Yeah. Squeeze out. Squeeze out. Squeeze
Oh, you did a good job at getting the squeeze out of there. Okay, so what next? You're going to do maple again? Nice. Okay, so what color of wood are you going to use for your next row?
My next row.
Yeah, because you got to keep going. What's your next color going to be? That one?
Yeah.
Do you know what kind of wood that is?
No.
That's cherry.
Cherry weird.
Do you think that it tastes like a cherry? Did you just lick it?
Yeah. Close. I did. Doesn't
did it,
taste.
You kind of walked into that.
did it taste like a cherry?
No.
How did it taste?
What color? Look.
Yeah, but how did it taste?
Great.
Great. Oh, okay.
What is this one?
That is called poplar. Means all the other woods like it.
Hey, you pop.
Yeah. Okay.
I'll
are you gonna put cherry or poplar? What you gonna do?
I'm gonna put poplar first.
Okay, that's these ones. Okay, well you better hurry up. Your glue's already on. That's cherry. I thought you were using poplar.
No, I'm using it first.
You're gonna use cherry first?
No. Yeah. And then poplar in the first place.
Okay. Hammer that one down. Okay, so we're going to carry on here and keep building our layers, kind of like a log cabin, until we reach the very top. And that would be the project assembled. And then at this point in time, if you want to add a finish, you can. So a fairly simple project. It takes a few minutes to put together. And depending on the attention span of your little one, you can see mine's already left. You can put it together in a fairly quick amount of time.
And there you have it. An easy pencil holder.
Guys, while this project may not be fine woodworking, what it is dead simple and dead easy. It's a great, quick project that helps to use up scrap and gets the kids involved and brings them out here for a quick project that gives them an interest in crafting and in woodworking, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a great one to look into, and it honestly doesn't take long. Not every project has to have hours of prep and measurement and technical aspects and technical woodworking processes.
Yeah.
Sometimes it just needs to be simple.
And don't try to set stuff just try to set stuff up before the kids come, like all the laser stops.
Right. Try to get as much of the prep done before the child comes out to the shop, because preparation work, let's face it, we have the experience, but for a child, prep work is extremely boring. They just want to get to the assembly and they want to make that project and be proud of it. And are you proud of what you made today?
Not very. It was so quick. I want to do a longer project.
You want to do a longer project? Okay, well, maybe next time then. But do you at least like the one that you made?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. So go ahead, do it. You missed. Do it again. Perfect. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in this week. I hope you've enjoyed the content. If you haven't already, if you found any part of today's show interesting, fun, enjoyable, informative, why not like and subscribe to the channel? My channel.
My channel with Pops.
Okay, fine. Our channel then. Guys, I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you're going to give this one a try for yourself. And more importantly, I hope you're going to join me again next week when I bring you yet another
Alternative Tuesday.
Not Alternative Tuesdays woodworking video.
Woodworking with Ellie. I call it Alternative Tuesday like I said last time.
You're a ham.
And make sure after you do crafts like this, please clean up your shed.
That's your shed, she said. She said her shed.
Do you hear me right?
Hey, Miss Sass.
I'm not Miss Sass.
Yes, you are, Miss Sass.
I'm just pushing him out of the screen.
No, you're not going to push me out of the screen. You almost fell. Okay, are you ready now? Let's get this clip done.
And there you have it. An easy pencil holder. Sweet and helpful.
Very helpful.
Yeah. Paintbrushes, glue, scissors, markers, tape. Anything can go in there, but not when it's too wide or too tall. It should be like about this tall and this wide.
Can I talk now?
No, I'll do all of it.
Okay, go ahead. Carry on.
So this show has been a total disaster. The mess we made, not. Make sure your shed is not, your workplace is not as messy as Pop's. It's a total disaster. He needs to get rid of something. Like all those clanks he has.
What?
Need to get rid of some of those.
Get rid of my clamps?
Yeah. Some of the clamps.
You can never have too many clamps.
Why?
Because that's the way it is.
You have 4 rows of clamps. 1, 2, 3, 4.
And I want more. Can we film this now?
Sure.
Sure.
You
Okay.
can go out. I'll do it myself.
And there you have it.
An easy, sweet pencil holder. It could be anything holder. Pens, tape, glue, scissors, anything. Rubber chickens.
Rubber chickens.
And there you have
Just
it.
wait. I'm not even there yet.
And there you have it. An easy pencil holder. Watch the videos and subscribe to our channel.
It's my channel.
Our channel.